joy in heaven and on earth, when they hear the name of Jesus. Hallelujah.
Good morning, my dearest friends, and welcome to today's reflection. Today is the second day in the month of November, and every 2nd of November, the church celebrates and commemorates the souls of all the faithful departed. The church prays for the dead, the celebration of all souls. My brothers and sisters, prayers for the dead is something that is common among the world's major religions. Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, name them. All these pray for their departed loved ones. Why do they do that? Because certain things can be forgiven after death. St. John tells us in his first letter, chapter 5, from verse 16 to 17, that certain sins are deadly, while some sins are not deadly. He underlines the fact that all wrongdoing is sin, but not all sin is mortal. And that is where the church makes a distinction between venial sin and mortal sin. Hence, if someone dies in venial sin, you do not expect the person to be granted into the presence of God immediately. Because the letter to the Hebrews tells us that there is a kind of holiness that those who are to enjoy the presence of God must possess. The book of Revelation also tells us that nothing unclean shall touch heaven. With all these, the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 12, verse 45, tells us that it is a holy and wholesome thought to pray for the dead, so that they may be loosed from their sin. Hence, certain sins can be forgiven after death, not mortal sin. Because after death comes judgment, and that judgment is either to heaven or to hell. But those we pray for who have certain sins or uncleanliness that may not permit them at that moment to be admitted into God's presence, undergo certain purification, what the church calls purgatory. Purgatory is a state of purification where souls who have died in venial sin are admitted so that they will be purified before entering the heaven. Their journey to heaven is only delayed because they need to be purified, to have that holiness that can admit them into God's presence. And so today, oftentimes, we pray for the dead. Some people argue against the doctrine of purgatory, but these same people pray for their loved ones who have died. Why do we pray for the dead if we don't have that belief, that faith, that something can happen even after death? And that thing that can happen after death is that purification from venial sin and sins forgiven but imperfectly repented of. And so today, the church set aside for us to remember our parents, siblings, loved ones, friends who have died. Perhaps they are undergoing deep purification. We offer prayers for them that God will hasten their purification and grant them the eternal presence that He has promised them. And so, my brothers and sisters, let us spend today, let us try to visit a cemetery of a loved one or columbarium where we can remember our dead loved ones, offering prayers for them, offering masses for them, that God will have mercy on them and admit them into His presence. And whenever they are admitted into God's presence in heaven, they will also be among the saints to intercede for you and for me. As we celebrate this liturgy for our brothers and sisters, may the Lord have mercy on their souls and grant them eternal rest. May the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. God bless you.